Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I am your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs and investors. Today we have with us Nitin Sawhney, founder of Reboot Life, which is a global remote work and travel program. Welcome Nitin.
Hi Rajiv.
So Reboot Life brings together a community of 30 to 50 like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, freelancers and explorers for a life-changing experience to travel the world while working remotely. A bit about Nitin, he's a traveler by heart, has explored his life both professionally and personally while he was traveling the world. He, over the past 15 years, has promoted 4 startup ventures, which include iOrder Fresh, an app-based food and grocery solution, Bag It Today, e-commerce and TV shopping, and MediaMart, a travel retail store. Again, Nitin, welcome to the show. Do let me know if there was any gaps in the intro, and do let us know what's going on in your world today.
Hi, thanks Rajiv once again. And no, I think we covered the intro part correctly. So what's going on is that we're all very excited about the latest venture, which is Reboot Life. And more than a venture, I think it's life's calling for me. So I probably was meant to do this, and we're very excited. The inaugural program kicks off early next year, and we just launched our website about 3 weeks back. It's still under beta testing, but we've started promoting for the last 2 weeks, and it's been very, very exciting. We've got a wonderful response from people all over the globe. As we speak, I'm just writing to different applicants from South Africa, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia.
Excellent. So before we get to work, of course, I always ask my guests, is any passions outside of work?
Oh, okay. So traveling, of course, being the number one passion and probably the reason why I was working, to be honest. But beyond that, I'm a budding poker player, in the sense that I like to play poker, and I would someday like to participate in the World Series of Poker main event.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So God willing, that should happen sometime soon. Other than that, I'm a sports enthusiast, so I play tennis and I follow the English Premier League regularly. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'm a bourbon enthusiast, so that's the drink of choice for me.
Okay. So coming to, of course, so what inspired the Reboot Life?
Inspiration was very simple, actually. So, as I said, when I started working, and probably I realized this 10 years down the line, but I just realized that the whole purpose of working, growing, earning more money was simply to travel more, see more exotic destinations, go as more further than what I'd gone earlier, do it alone, do it with my wife, with friends. And it really was, something that I was very keen on in general. And I realized that usually for people in corporate jobs, it becomes a choice. So you can either, work or you can be on holiday. And when you're on holiday, you're counting days. So it's going to be, let's say you have 28 days off in a year or 15 days off in a year, depending on company to company, country to country. So just counting the days that you can actually take off, and some of them are meant to be with family, you have to visit somebody, and only very few days are actually for your own recreation or something that you would really enjoy doing. And even there, people end up in the whole rut of going for a package deal where you're going for a 5-night, 7-night holiday, which
Correct.
is more stressful than work is actually.
Correct.
So it's not really visiting or exploring a place. So the idea really came about for the fact that why can't work and travel, be done at the same time? I mean, we're moving in the direction where work doesn't require people to be physically present. So why can't, a laptop connection and a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection not be enough, at least sometimes during the year?
Correct. So what would the vision be for the company, Nitin?
The vision is very simple. So what we want to come across as is a platform where people can basically take a relook at what they've been doing in life,
Mm-hmm.
and just take a break, take a step back, and just refocus on what they want to do. Now, it sounds very, what do you say, philosophical probably, but it simply means that people may be in a job that they can do remotely. So, and this could be if you're independently working as a freelancer or a tech entrepreneur. You could also be in a corporate job and still be in a role which allows you to work from anywhere, at least for some time in your entire year. And thirdly, you're in a situation, a place in your life where you want to take a step back and just reboot. You just want to break the monotony in your life. And that's what the big business does.
So when you thought of the idea, was it only you that took this project off the ground and make it a reality, or do you have any co-founders in this?
So the idea initially was mine, and I do have one co-founder, and Abhishek has been with me for the last venture as well.
Okay.
We go back to college, and we've been together. We've been friends for the last 15, 17 years. So he's there, and now we've got a very interesting team that is working remotely as we speak from across the world. So we're not only telling people to do what we're saying, but we're also living that particular product. So most of our team actually works remotely from different cities in the world, and only people who are required to be in the office are the ones who are doing back office work, which really needs to be done here because of cost.
Got it. So I mean, if when it comes to Reboot Life, I mean, you are the rebooters as such. Participate in a 1-year program. So, I mean, just let our listeners know how exactly this whole process works and what the flow is.
Sure. So, first of all, how the process works. If you wanted to become a rebooter, simply if you would go to our website, which is reboot-life.com, you have an apply now link over there. So you fill up a very preliminary form, which has about 6 odd questions. It takes about 2 minutes to fill up.
Got it.
Based on that, you get called to fill up a second level of an application form, which basically asks. We're not really selecting people, but we want to provide a very diverse group of people to travel together. So the idea is just to know what your unique skills, qualities are. Why would you want to do this program, and what are the skill sets that you're bringing, which we would not have in the group otherwise. So if you were to be a part of this program, and out of the 50 people, if 20 of them were to be of the same profession, or they were to be from the same country, same city, it wouldn't be as enriching an experience. It would still be fun, but to truly enriching experience, you've got to have people from different walks of life, people who are different in their skill sets, yet like-minded to the effect that they're willing to take this great bold move of putting life as it is on hold for a year and actually going out and doing this. So it's a great platform to meet people like you from across the world. And when I say like you, there might be one rebooter who would be like 18 years old, and there could be another who's 65 years old. But still, at heart, they're both explorers. They're both adventure-seeking individuals. Okay. So that's how you. Sorry.
So what happens? I mean, so during this 1 year, I mean, what all activities take place, or what do these individuals take part in?
Yeah. So now once you get accepted to the program and you're offered a position, you are sent an itinerary that you've been selected for, and you can choose between 1 or 2 depending on how many programs are available. Mm-hmm. But let's join the 12-month program, and there are 12 cities that you're going to. Then you are expected to just land up at the first city yourself, and from there onwards we take over. So we meet you at the airport, we take you to your accommodation. And from that point onwards, your accommodation in a single in a private room is a part of the program. We provide a co-working space for you in very nice professional co-working spaces. Mm-hmm. Usually they're very chic. So they're like it could be a cafe on the beach. It could be a loft in a high rise. It would be very interesting and inspiring co-working spaces that you get access to with high speed internet. And most of these are 24/7 because people would be working different time zones.
Yep.
So to provide high speed internet to them 24/7. So co-working spaces taken care of. Then we also include all transport from that point onwards. So you're only expected to be at the first city yourself. From that point on, till the time you complete your program, all your air travel, all transfers to the airport, from the airport, all local transportation if required if your co-working space is too far from your accommodation and you need to use public transport, then either it will be provided by us or we ensure that it is reimbursed for whatever charges that you're paying. And in addition to this, then we are organizing social networking events. We are organizing business networking events. We will be organizing excursions to the little known secrets of that particular destination. You would probably go for excursions which otherwise as a tourist you might not be able to. So the whole idea is that you're traveling for 12 months, but you're actually living in 12 different cities for 1 month at a time. So you're not a tourist, you're living the life of local as much as possible.
Got it. So, I mean, have you tied up with people all around these places you take them to, or how
Yes.
Okay.
So ops team and even personally, I've also been traveling across the world just to get this set up. So in the first itinerary, we've got places like Melbourne, that's the kickoff city. We go to Wellington or Fiji, that's the second one. Then we go to Tokyo, we go to Chiang Mai, we go to Bali. From Asia Pacific, then we move to Europe, and there we go to Budapest. From Budapest, we go to Dubrovnik in Croatia. We go to Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, we go to Leipzig in Germany. And from Leipzig, we go to Sevilla in Spain, southern Spain. So that's Europe. And then we go down to South Africa. So we're there in Cape Town. And we finally end the program in Dubai. And that's how the first 12 months look like. And during this time, as we go ahead, the second and the third such itinerary would be planned. And it would always have between 3 to 4 different continents, 12 different countries. So you have an opportunity to explore at least 12 cultures and have 1 month in each country. So you can always explore more cities on your own. And the idea is just to be with wonderful people who would become hopefully lifelong friends. And all the time you're working. So this is not a holiday. You're actually doing whatever job you're doing. You're just doing it remotely. And people who are most likely to join such programs come from the technology-enabled businesses and jobs that they have. So there's a good chance that you would collaborate with your fellow participants. New companies would be formed. New ventures would take shape, and it'll be a good experience.
So this typically would be, I would say, entrepreneurs or business owners who can work from anywhere remotely, right?
Not only entrepreneurs and business owners. There are freelancers across the world.
Correct.
Right, who are very good at what they do, and they have clients, and sometimes they have clients also all across the globe. So, for example, a really skilled graphic designer who's doing work for different brands from different countries is most likely to love a program like this because it inspires them to do better work. They see new places, they see new cultures, and they're only responsible for the particular assignment that they're working on. And deadlines are the only important things that they have to take care of. Rest of the day, rest of the time, they're free to explore. So that's so. Rajiv, one more thing, what really got us interested in this line of work is that world over, specifically in the developed world, the first world countries, the young population that's just getting into the workforce, so people who are just getting out of high school, who are just getting out of their undergrad degrees, they're the ones who are finding either difficult to get jobs that they want, or even the jobs that they have, they feel undervalued because the skill set, the education that they have, and the jobs that are offered to them at that point in life is not at par. So they're finding out that it's easier to really become better at something that they like. So one skill that they can really sharpen, and they can earn the same amount of money or even more with the flexibility of working on their own timelines. Working for different clients all over the world.
Okay.
It's a practical choice for a lot of the youngsters, and it's a trend that's just going to get magnified as we go ahead.
Okay, got it. So I've read on your website, you have this concept of industry trendsetters. So what exactly are they?
Yeah. So how do we? So this whole remote work and travel program. We are not the only company in the world offering this. There are other people who have such programs, right? But the unique proposition that we have for any of our prospective applicants is that not only will you benefit from the wonderful group of people who are going to be traveling with you, but we will make sure that we get some experts, some masters in their line of work, travel with you while on this program. So, for
Okay.
example, we would try and get, some world-renowned graphic designers, some world-renowned musicians, some awarded, wildlife photographers. We'd get, celebrity chefs, people who are really an inspiration to any, individual, and especially they could be from your line of work as well, or your, vocation, your hobby, so as to say. And you could actually spend a week, a couple of weeks, a weekend with them, where they're living in the same quarters as you are. They're interacting with you informally. They may even hold formal workshops with you over a weekend.
Yeah.
So they take away from your work time, but they're there to help you have even a more enriching experience than you're already having. So we want to make this program one of its kind, where not only are you meeting incredible people in your group, but you're also meeting these great individuals who are an authority in the line of work that they are in, and you get a chance to learn from them and see how they manage their time, how they manage their life, what inspires them, what's the thought process when they get down to work. So that really, I feel, is the biggest attraction for anybody to come and join this
Got it.
program.
So when do you start exactly? What is the year?
So we start in 2018, and right now the tentative date is March 18. So we're just in the process of
shortlisting.
getting the first set of.
Okay. And how is it
Yes.
looking
So
till now?
as I said, we just started to.
Correct. So but how is it look? How is it looking till how many applications?
So Rajiv, we have just been in this for the last 2 weeks, and as of now, if I can just see my system, just 1 second, I have a total of. I already have 36 applicants.
And I saw the fees. So they're willing to pay that amount because it's a 1 year.
Yeah. So the second, the second unique proposition is that probably the most flexible program, where not only can you join for the year, which is usually the case, but you can even join for as little as a month. So if you say that it's a 12-month program, but the applications are also possible for a monthly program, and you can do as little as 1 month. So you may decide, okay, out of the 12 cities, I've never been to Tokyo, and I'm going to be just there for 1 month, and you tell us that, so you only pay for 1 month. So the monthly fees is a little more, but still it's much less expensive comparatively to.
Got it. So you basically, if it's March 2018, you're looking at the first set of people for the 1 year, but you may have additional people for shorter time frames also.
Yes, but we will not exceed the group size of 50. So let's say out of the 50, there are 35 who are going for the annual program, and there are 15 who join for the monthly. Some of them will be there only for the first months. So it's a rolling process. So the annual program people will stay the same throughout the year, and the monthly program participants some of them will keep going out, and the new ones will keep joining.
So the annual one, will you start the second one only after the first entire program is over, or you start the second one during the first one itself?
No, actually the second program is independent of the first. So like the first program, we are going to name it Columbus 18.
Got it.
So Columbus 18 is one batch. They have an itinerary which I just told you, which Melbourne, and it kicks off in Melbourne and it ends in Dubai. The second itinerary is going to be Marco Polo. So Marco Polo starts probably in September.
Got it. Excellent.
We have a totally different, 12 cities, maybe different continents. We're looking at South America. We're looking at North America as well. And maybe we'll have Europe and Africa and that.
Okay. I mean, so I know definitely there are other companies doing this, because I had a few friends who went for this, and it was mainly this whole area, which was Bali, etc. And so what is the differentiator, or there's just space for a lot more?
No, so I think the biggest differentiator, Rajiv, is that everybody's understood that there is a certain price point at which all these programs are running.
Yeah.
That is a common denominator for everyone. But what we've done with Reboot Life is that we've really provided as many premium destinations as we possibly could within that limited budget. So if you see in our first itinerary, we're going to places like Melbourne, which has been voted the best city in the world to live in for the last 7 years.
Correct.
We're going to Cape Town, which is voted as the evergreen tourist destination in the world. Year on year, it's like the best place to go as a tourist. We've included Tokyo, which is possibly one of the most fascinating places to go for culture. And
absolutely.
As you know, it is. Yeah. It's not a cheap city to live in. Then we've got places like we've got countries like Germany, we've got the Netherlands, we've got Dubai. So we try the entire program as much it has to be enriching in terms of the cultural background where you're going. So it has to be, all cities have a very rich culture, but a lot of them are very premium destinations, which anyway should be on your list of places to travel, and you know that they are not easy to get by on the cheap. So we are providing the maximum bang for the buck, really. So there are a lot of programs which are taking you to Southeast Asia, they're taking you to South America, and especially the cities which have a very low cost of living index.
Correct.
So in our itinerary, we have included at least 1/3 of the cities which have the highest cost of living index, and you're still paying the same amount of money. So you're getting more bang for your buck, really.
So are you in bootstrapped or self-funded, or you have taken outside funding, or how is it?
Right now, we are self-funded.
Okay.
I wouldn't say we're bootstrapped because we're doing whatever we have to do. And we've got, we've raised capital from friends and family and some angels in our network. But we really are not looking at institutional capital. We feel that this is a business that only requires the startup capital, for the program to get on the way. But we expect to be, profitable, or at least, break even from the first year itself. And hopefully we don't need money to run this program. But yes, we have plans for expansion into other things for which we may need institutional capital. And for that, plans are underway to, do that fundraise only towards the end of next year or early 2019.
So you've done your share of corporate jobs. What is the turning point to get into entrepreneurship?
So actually, I started, to be honest, when I completed my MBA, I was a one company man. I started as a management trainee with the India Today Group, which is one of the biggest media conglomerates in India. So from a management trainee, I rose to the position of a chief operating officer in their e-commerce division. So within that 10 years, I've actually done two projects which were very close to being startups themselves. So MediaMart was I was the first employee in that business, which was a retail travel store. At these bookstores across airports and metro stations across the country. And the second one was an e-commerce venture, which was it was the time when e-commerce was really on the rise in India, 2008 onwards. And I've seen quite the highs and lows, raised money. Then we've seen the business being pivoted into something else. So all that excitement and all that learning, it really led me to taking the plunge in 2014, and that's when my first independent venture, which was iOrder Fresh, that took shape. And we were very fortunate to see some success there, and we got funded through an institution within 6 months.
Excellent.
And that business is still running, and it's in the process of it's taking a new shape that's also pivoting. But I really felt that this was, as I said, this was life's calling, and for the last year or so, I've just been focused on this business. Looking forward to making this.
So over time, over all these years, who has inspired you, I would say, the most? I'm sure there'll be many key figures, but if you were to name one.
So it's difficult. So I get inspired by writing, probably. So I'm a great Ayn Rand fan.
Okay.
Right. So the characters really resonate with me somehow. But to see if I was to see some inspiration in the real corporate world, I would say Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. They are the two people who I really admire, and I think they're doing great things. They're actually changing the way that live our lives.
Correct.
And that's great inspiration.
And over time, what's some of the best advice you have been given?
I think the best advice I've been given is by one of my ex-bosses and my mentor. And in fact, he got that from someone as well, but I always remember it. And he said that it's always easier to live with failure than it is to live with regret.
Absolutely. Very, very true. Other than the launch that's coming up in March, anything new that's coming up, or it's all focuses on the launch itself?
No, so the launch actually is underway as we speak, and now the focus is on getting some very interesting, people to join as industry trendsetters. So we are actually just in the process of finalizing who all would, make the right mix. So we want some people from the performing arts, we want some people from the digital arts, we want some people to be from, business and, inspirational writers, business leaders. So we just want a right mix of people who would be great companions for our group of rebooters, and which would really make the first the batch, which is Columbus 18, a great success for everyone.
Excellent.
And we hope to see them soon.
I forgot to ask, what are the mix of applications coming in? Is it from, countries, if I were to say? Is it all this side, or, like India or Southeast Asia, or?
No, so very interestingly, we've got applications from South Africa, Zimbabwe, the Congo. We've got applications from Malaysia, from Thailand, from India, from Australia, from UK, and we've not even started the promotions in North America yet. So that gets out this
And
week.
this is a mix for the 1 year and the 1 month program order, right?
Yes.
Excellent,
There's
excellent.
It's a healthy mix of both.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in your business, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 years?
Honestly, I just feel that in the next 2-3 years, I'd love to have programs running concurrently across the world, and have people joining with the flexibility of being able to join within 6 weeks in a country, in a location of their choice. But beyond that, I think what we really want to do is we want to build a community of people who really believe in this whole idea of remote working and traveling, and we would like to make special nests for them, as we call them, where we would have the Reboot branded locations, where you would have a great place to really collaborate with people. And this would be in the form of a co-living space which has co-working and everything put together, and a studio for new ventures and stuff. So it's something a lot in our heads. That is the venture probably that would require a little bit of institutional funding, and we'll see that for 18 months down the line.
Got it. So now we move to a part of the show which is a quick fire round, simple, brief answers. All right. So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
I say, I just make your dreams come true.
All right. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say work?
Remote.
Family?
Family, my children.
Entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship has to be explorer.
Okay. Technology?
Technology is fluid.
Okay. Food?
Food, I would have to say Indian.
Okay. And book?
Book, The Fountainhead.
Okay. What's one piece of tech that you can't live without?
One piece of tech. To be honest, I think I'm best when I have nothing with me. But I think one to live without would be probably my Kindle.
Okay. And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
I'm a very good listener, but I think most of my friends realize that. So that's
Okay.
that's something I excel at.
And you travel all over the world, so
I think
go ahead, Nathan.
I speak a couple of languages which nobody knows.
Oh, okay. You travel all over the world, so what's your favorite city?
I think the favorite trail I would say is of all my travels would be Cinque Terre, which is this trail that you have near Genoa in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's a trek to 5 villages, and it's some of the most beautiful scenery. It's on the Italian Riviera, and I think I can never forget it, because that was probably the first foreign destination I ever visited.
Okay.
So it never leaves me.
Got it. And finally, any last thought or piece of advice that you have for our listeners?
I think I always get a lot of people who ask me that we are thinking of doing something on our own, but it's just too scary to leave a job that we're all settled in and a steady paycheck. And I always tell them that towards when you're done with work, and you sit back and look at what you've done with life. Again, had you tried and failed, you would be happier than saying that I had the chance and I never did it. So it is difficult, but if you truly believe in something that you think you would be good at, you've got to give it a chance. It's not going to happen.
Absolutely. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also Reboot Life. So
please, we'd be happy to answer your questions. Please write to me directly at Nitin, that's Nitin, at reboot-life.com and visit our website, which is www.reboot-life.com.
Excellent. Again, Nitin, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures. And all the very best at building Reboot Life.
Thank you, Rajiv. I really love your show. And,
excellent.
Hope to connect with you again soon.
All right. Do visit reboot-life.com and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes and also subscribe to our show on all the platforms. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.